So the sidecar product that I chose that I think was the best is The Leap by Thinkific. Now, this is going to be controversial actually, because Thinkific is a platform for creators to build digital products. So think of things like courses and communities. And they're actually what I would say is maybe the number one competitor to Kajabi, which was where I worked last. But I can recognize good work when it's done. And so I have chosen them as the winner for me of this category. So in October of 2023, they launched a sidecar product called The Leap, as I mentioned. And The Leap is an AI-powered tool that helps creators build mobile-first digital products. And it's free, as we mentioned about the definition of sidecar. So you can think like smaller products here, like mini courses, guides, quizzes, not like those full 4-hour-long courses that you might create in Thinkific. Now, the reason I love this is I know from my experience in the creator economy that the main barrier between people who dream about being a creator and those who actually become creators is getting that first product built. And The Leap aims to solve that. And I just know, because I've seen so much data and read so many reports, that most people who sign up for these types of tools never make a single thing. But if you can get a creator to build a product, then as soon as they start to see money, it almost becomes a bit addictive and they start to really feel motivated. And they almost always go on to build real successful businesses. So I totally understand the business strategy here. And I think it's so clever. I wish I had thought of it when I was working at Kajabi, to be honest. So here's a couple of reasons why I think it should win. The first one is it's been years in the making. So I need to set the stage a little bit context-wise. In 2022, they launched a media property. Thinkific launched a media property called The Leap. They launched it on TikTok, and it was a way for them to reach more creators earlier in the journey. The Leap itself, the media property, grew to be incredibly successful. They had over 150,000 visits a month to the website, 50,000 newsletter subscribers, and millions of video views on social, both Instagram and TikTok. And in interviews, Thinkific actually says that interacting with that audience on social is actually what gave them the insight they needed to think about how they should have a completely different approach to help creators who are earlier in the monetization journey. So love that already, that they're like learning from their audience. What I think was clever is they started to seed the idea of a product with their audience. Because you think most of this audience are just here for like entertainment or education. They haven't thought about buying a product from The Leap yet. So they actually introduced a waitlist many months before launch. More months than I probably would think to do, but I think it's because they wanted to really seed this concept of like, we're not just an entertainment site. We are now going to be helping you solve the problems that we've been helping you solve through content with an actual product. So by the time they launched on TikTok, Product Hunt, and email, customer email. They got top 3 products of the day on Product Hunt. And in just 1 month, they surpassed 6,500 users and more than 5,000 digital products created. I think that ratio is pretty good between digital products and the number of users. That's almost 1 for every user. And by December, which was like less than a month after launch, they'd already passed 10,000 users. And if we just think about the numbers, if we just take the number of newsletter subscribers they had, and then we take the number of users they got, that's almost a 20% conversion rate between newsletter audience to user of the product. If I had a conversion rate like that, I would be very happy. So I think very clever multi-year strategy here. And they were definitely one of the B2B companies ahead of the trend on building like a media arm. So that's number 1. Number 2. What I love about the product and the strategy in general is it's not just a free limited version of their tool or a limited version of one part of the tool. It's actually an entirely different use case, and they prove the use case out through their launch channels. So The Leap is built for mobile learning, which is obviously so important today and was not as important when Thinkific was created over a decade ago. And you actually can't build mobile first courses in Thinkific or Kajabi or any of the other products out there. So it's a very specific new use case. Competitors don't have it. It's also all focused on this concept of bite-sized learning made for social media audiences, which makes sense. Mobile, social, the two go hand in hand. So when I started digging into the campaign itself, because I already knew I loved the product, I knew about the history because I have been following it for a while, started digging into it because I wanted to look at the campaign. Okay, what's the launch campaign itself like? I couldn't find anything on LinkedIn, and I actually almost backtracked because I was like, maybe they actually didn't do a good job marketing it. But then I realized I was looking in the wrong area and they launched the Leap on TikTok. So I was like, they must have launched the product on TikTok as well. Now, as an elder millennial, as I'll call myself, without giving away my age, I have never downloaded TikTok before. So Thinkific made me download TikTok. I followed their account and they had so many videos and you could really see how this came to life. Tons of the creators who used the Leap actually posted videos as well. And it just was so clear that like the product was built for social and they were marketing it on social, which I love. And then to take that concept one step further, like, okay, great, I'm building something that's completely different than Thinkific. How do we get them to buy the main product eventually? The whole slogan of the campaign was dream big, start small. So they're planting the seed that like one day you're going to be a multi-million-dollar creator. You're going to have multiple revenue streams with Thinkific. But today, you're going to do this one small step that's going to get you there. And we're going to link to the video. They launched it on TikTok, but it's this amazing video about going to the moon, but how actually there's one step to get there. So we're going to link that for you so you can watch it. I'm almost out of time, but I need to get to my final point because this one's just for Jason. So you go to the landing page.
I'm there.
To sign up for the product. And what do they have first? An interactive demo. Have you seen an interactive demo for a free product before? Like, I think that's pretty rare. And it's like, you can sign up for free for the product with one click of a button. But Thinkific is so smart. They're like, no, we want to show you the product before you even do that. And the product is so unique. When you look at the interactive demo, it's fun. You want to do it immediately. And you can clearly see that it's different than any other product, which makes me then go and hit sign up for free. 0 seconds left, but how did I do, guys?
Wow.
That was
so cool. Yeah, this is sick. The interactive demo, I'm like geeking out over this. So
I knew you would.
It is really, so it's showing you like their editor basically. So this is a tool where you get to come in and you can build a course, like your own course on but it's mobile only.
Exactly. So you could build a course, but think more like mini course, or build quizzes or tutorials. They have a really cool thing where it's an AMA. So it's like you can have someone say, pay $10 and then ask me any question and I'll get back to you. So it's actually very creative digital products as well that are mobile first.
This is awesome. It's so smart.
I think a lot of people they don't know like really how hard it is to come up with a course and to actually ship it. I mean, me, Jason, Tamara, we worked really hard on our course ready for launch a few months back. It took a ton of prep time, research, and then actually organizing all of the content. It takes a long time. And I had done one like myself, even a couple years earlier, and it's just a lot of work, upfront work. And so to be able to like put something together in like a miniature, like first step way, I think is super, super helpful as a product. And so I definitely think that this is a great like use of like a sidecar product launch for sure.
Yeah, this is awesome. And the thing I like about, you made the point, Tamara, that interactive demos you don't see a lot on a free product. I'm starting to see more of it because it basically, even with a free product, a lot of times it's still a lot of work for someone to be like, oh, I got to sign up. I got to give you my email. I got to create this account. And a lot of times too, it's like, they don't really get to see it unless they've got a course in mind and they got something to get started with right away. So in this case, an interactive demo is great because you get people to see how easy it is without having to put in any effort. It's like right there for them and they can see how easy it is. And then, especially with something like this, because this is, like you said, it's like, I'd never seen anything like this. It's really cool.
The other point I'll add, since I have a few more seconds now, is once you have a product created, the second hardest part of being a creator is actually getting it in front of your audience and getting someone to buy, as we all know, as marketers ourselves. And what I like about this tool is that, like, if you've been building an audience, most likely you've been building your audience on social. And so it's just so thoughtful about how you would even distribute the product once you create it, that it just made total sense to me. Like, I could see if I was a creator who'd never done this before, I could go in one sitting, I could build something, put it onto a channel that I've already been nurturing and building and start to get immediate feedback. And I think that would be very motivating for someone. And then if they wanted to, take the plunge and say, oh, I actually had a longer course in mind. Like I could see the distance between signing up for the Leap and signing up for Thinkific actually being quite short for some creators.